Okay.
I
This
did
is
it.
interesting.
I did it many years ago in NH Goyal World School,
Okay.
where I had to explain to them about learning styles.
Okay.
Wow, ma'am, that school follows Exceed, the place where I worked earlier. Ashika ma'am, when I shared with you, Madhvi here.
It feels like an IDU.
Okay, now let's do presentation. Okay. One minute. All right. So we were here, group activity, right? Let's have presentation from each of the groups. I'm stopping the sharing. Okay. All right. Group one, visual learners. Yeah. Yes, Agrika.
The room number 4, the kinesthetic learner, we could not record it. So what can we do?
You can act it out. You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
act
sure.
it out here.
You can do it live.
Yeah,
You can
that
do
would
it
be
live.
great.
Okay, you can do
Yeah.
live.
Yes.
Okay. Group number 1, visual learners. Can you share your presentation and explain who will do the talking? Debajyoti, who is going to do it from your group?
If everyone is fine, then I can do, or else someone else can take the lead. That's fine too.
Who all are there?
Take the lead. I'll follow.
Okay,
Yeah,
Debajyoti,
others
go.
as well.
Share the slide with everybody on screen and do the explanation.
Yeah, just a moment. Can you see my screen right now?
No, it's just
Yes,
Zoom.
but
Yeah, yes.
You can see the screen, right? So yeah,
Yes.
so this is
Yes.
what we created. I'm just putting it in the slide mode. So this is what we created here.
Okay, I'll give you
I'll
two.
just, I'll just move it down so that you can see the image properly. Yeah, so this is what we came up. So the idea was to create a pyramid model over here where we can demonstrate the hierarchy. That is, the priest is a much smaller group of people as compared to the kings and officials, and the soldiers and the scribes, traders and the merchants and the slaves. So the slaves are at the bottom of the pyramid, which also shows the hierarchy that they are, and obviously the numbers will be much larger as compared to traders and merchants, right? So it's a uh, upright pyramid model, and we have tried to put in some images over here so that you can see the temples, the ziggurat as per the text. There's a picture over here, and then there's a priest, then there is a kings and officials, and soldiers and scribes fighting. I think yeah, there's fighting, traders and merchants exchanging their products, uh, getting into some bartering system, and slaves. And the arrow that you can see on the right hand side of the screen, it shows the flow. So we have started with the priest and then the slaves. So that is how it shows the hierarchy model over here. And at the end, what is written over here is the same thing, the classes of people in the ancient Mesopotamia. I don't know whether it's visible or not. I think it's visible. It's trying to toggle with this click bar over here so that you can see it. I think it's visible, right? So this is what we have come up. So yeah, in a visual model, I think we have tried to create a graphic over here so that it can be demonstrated properly to a child also, means to a learner also, so that they can understand that this is how the model flows.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Visual learners can stop sharing.
Yes.
Stop sharing. Now can the group 2 auditory learners, your turn to present. Who will present?
Lakshmi ma'am, would you care to present?
Who's presenting, Lakshmi? Are you presenting? Who's presenting? Who were there in the second group? Auditory learners?
It was myself, Rajshri ma'am, Amar sir,
Lakshmi ma'am, Amit sir.
Winnie. Yeah.
Okay, someone be a risk taker and present.
Yeah, it's just that
Lakshmi ma'am.
she has the link, so it'll be easier for her to present. So we're trying to trace Lakshmi ma'am here.
Is she here in the group or no?
I don't know. Can we go last, ma'am? We'll extract the link with that,
Okay, all right.
that we don't hold up everybody. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Group 3, read and write. Can you present?
Yeah, we are ready with our content. I mean, who's presenting it?
Ma'am, you.
Okay, so what we did is like as it was being said,
Hmm.
we just came up, I mean, this was a random thought which was flowing in the mind, and we did have some AI poems also, which were like, okay, with a lot of rhyming and in depth. But this was something which came straight from the heart, and I think everybody in the group also felt that, okay, maybe we can go ahead with something which is this way. And we also went through certain AIs. I don't know where those AI poems are in the chat box. I mean, I don't have the access to that, but. This was one poem which the entire group felt was good. It just says, Life of a Slave. So the slave is saying that happy am I have no boundaries to stay. I may clean God's house or serve the priest every day. I may work for kings, scribes, or traders, labor with turmoil and strife each day. I survive on breadcrumbs or H2O. That's my plight and fight of life's each day. So this poem, the approval of the everybody in the group agreed to it, because many like people said that yes, the poem shows that okay, he knows this is his life, he knows he's destined to do this work, he might as well look at it in a positive way. And he says that since he can roam in the entire spectrum of the Mesopotamia topography of going from the temple to the king's house or soldiers, wherever he's assigned to, he doesn't have any boundary. He's working for one and all. He's serving, even if it is serving God's house. It's like going and doing these works over there. So he is happy about it. And he's looking at life and his plight, struggle, everything is okay with him, because that's what he's destined to. Bounded labor, like how we all are, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, group 3. Very well done.
Okay. I'll just
Group 4.
I'll
Yeah.
just stop sharing.
Now, group 4 will have a role play. I am excited to see that.
Okay. Probably I'll just take the lead, but all my mates will follow. Welcome, everybody.
1 minute. Now, if everybody who are not in the play, if you can just shut your video so that we can just see those people who are there in the play. Hai na? Okay, I'll shut my video. Debajyoti, you're supposed to shut your video. You're not in the role play. He is not listening. Debajyoti.
Yes, ma'am, tell me.
Arey, video
Can we-
band kar. Shut your video. Okay, go ahead, people.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the world of Mesopotamia. You have kings, priests, scribes, merchants, farmers, and slaves, all belonging to one society. Today, here, we present to you the king's courtroom. It is not easy. It is sad, because the slave has stolen and he is brought to judgment. Here we begin.
This is a grave offense. Who dares to steal from the sacred temple of the gods?
We caught this slave with stolen offerings.
What shall we do with them, priest?
I mean no disrespect. My family is starving. I only took what I needed to survive.
Starving or not, theft from the gods is unforgivable. King, this matter requires your judgment.
Stealing from the temple disrupts the divine order. However, we must balance justice with mercy.
Perhaps the slave family could work in my fields to repay the temple. They will not starve again.
The temple's offerings are sacred. If they are damaged, I can repair the artifacts as an act of penance.
The merchant.
If the temple needs replacement offerings, I can supply goods from my trade to ensure balance.
I have documented the theft, the slave's plea, and the proposed solutions. Shall I record the king's judgment for the temple records?
Let the god decide through ritual. If they favor mercy, the slave may live. Otherwise, justice is clear.
Slave. I accept my fate. I only ask that my family be spared and allowed to work for their sustenance.
Very well. The slave shall work under the farmer's care to repay their debt, and the temple shall be restored.
The gods accept this resolution. Let this be a warning to all who disrespect the divine.
The judgment is written. May it guide others in understanding the consequences of their actions. Thank you.
This is Team 4. I hope you all enjoyed our little bit. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Excellent. I think this was the best, in this Zoom setting to do a play, to think out of the box. It was very creative of all of you. And you are really risk takers, okay, to do a play on Zoom. I was myself thinking, my God, how will these kinesthetic learners do the task? But you all did it, okay? Good job.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So let's say we did a lot of brainstorming to come up at this particular thing. We were coming up with a lot of ideas, and everybody was, chipping in for their ideas. And at the end, one person will come up with the help of ChatGPT and will be able to do that. Thank you.
I think we all were imagining the situation, like we were actually in that situation. That made it easier.
I think the auditory learner, your presentation is remaining. Where are they? Do you have it or no?
Yeah, shall I try to play it, ma'am? I'm not sure whether it's going to be audible.
Yeah, go ahead.
If not, then I will play it through our chat window itself. Yeah, sure.
Okay, play it on the chat window. Yeah, do it.
Is it audible now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, then I'll just put it up in the chat box here. But if I put it in the chat box, each one of us will have to listen to it individually unless you choose to play it, ma'am.
Acha. I will play it. You just share the link.
Done, ma'am.
Can you hear?
No, ma'am.
1 minute. Let me.
Maybe you have to share screen with the audio
Yeah.
sharing as well.
Ma'am, I can hear when you click on the link, it take you to the another window, and then you can hear
More
the
than just a temple, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was like the symbol of the whole city's connection to the divine. And the priests who served there, they were powerful figures.
It really was the heart of the city, dominating the skyline,
Yeah.
represented their link to the gods.
Can you
Right.
hear?
And our script introduces us to one of these priests. He
Yes, ma'am.
describes his role as being, quote, the closest to the gods.
Makes sense.
He performed daily rituals and offerings to, keep the gods happy.
And to ensure the city's prosperity, of course.
Of course. But what kind of influence did this perceived closeness to the gods give them?
A lot. I mean, their influence went way beyond just religious ceremonies. Think about it. They were advising the king.
Yeah.
And they often held a ton of economic and political power. They controlled land, got a portion of the city's agricultural produce as offerings. They were major players.
I see. So they were basically seen as having the god's ear. Their opinions would have mattered a lot. It's really interesting how religious beliefs were woven into every part of Mesopotamian life.
Completely.
And that connection to the divine is also super clear in the role of the king. He wasn't just a political leader, right? He was chosen by the gods to lead and protect the city.
A divinely appointed ruler.
Okay. The script shows him living in a super lavish palace, of course, near the ziggurat, a symbol of his status and power. But it also mentions that he was dedicated to his people, creating laws to ensure fairness and stability within the city.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have any examples of those laws?
Well, there's this one interesting example, a law that standardized weights and measures used in the marketplace.
So people couldn't cheat their customers. Interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This helped prevent disagreements, maintain order. It's kind of like early consumer protection laws.
Wow, that's pretty advanced for the time, wouldn't you say? Shows a sophisticated understanding of how the economy works, based on fairness and trust.
Absolutely. And it wasn't only about the economy either. The king was also responsible for defending the city from outside threats.
Right, which brings us to another key player in Mesopotamian society, the soldier.
Of course.
Peace, both inside and outside the city, was absolutely essential, right? Especially in a place like Mesopotamia. It was a volatile region. Our script introduces a soldier. He talks about his training, how tough it was, and his dedication to protecting his city-state. What were some of the challenges they faced?
Well, Mesopotamia was always under threat from other city-states and these nomadic tribes. So soldiers had to be ready to fight all the time. Their training was intense. They had to master different weapons, learn all about combat strategies, and just endure really harsh conditions to build up their strength and resilience for warfare.
Sounds grueling. It must have been an incredibly demanding and dangerous job.
Learn all about combat strategies and just endure really harsh conditions
Okay.
to build up their strength and resilience for
So you have the link. People can listen to the whole thing. Okay. So would you want to say something about this AI tool? Who
This
knows?
was audio, no? This was audio, right?
Yes. Who knows this? How to use this AI tool?
No, please guide us. It was
Notebook
very
LM.
nice. Huh?
My
Notebooks?
God, y'all don't know how to use Notebook LM. Hey, Bhagwan.
Man, you have
I'll have to
created
take a
your
session.
Can you please, can you
this is
please
new
guide?
for us.
That
Ah.
was really good.
So Notebook LM is Google's AI tool. Okay, so when you put on Gemini something to search, okay, Gemini looks at all the Google all over the internet and then gives you the answer, right? But in Notebook LM, you have to upload your sources, and then from the sources you can chat to Notebook LM. Give question answers, give guide, give explanation, give summary. It will give you tuck answers, just like ChatGPT or Gemini, but just from the sources that you have uploaded.
So what
Okay.
sources, like what the websites
So
names?
you can upload YouTube video, you can upload PDFs, you can upload from Google Drive. I think you can upload Google Doc. Usually what I do is, even if I have a presentation, I change it into a PDF and then upload the PDF. Okay. So
And then it
and
gives you the audio notes. The way
it gives you a podcast directly about what source you have uploaded, Okay. And you can also customize the podcast. Earlier on, when I started using it, it automatically gave a podcast, but now you can also customize the podcast. What
And
you
you say-
want.
You say Notebook LM, right?
Yes. And you can use it using your Gmail address. So after you have logged into your Gmail, on a new window, if you say Notebook LM, it will open up. First time you will have to tick something and then it will say create. So you'll have to upload your sources, and then you can chat. Automatically it will give you a podcast and a summary of your source that you have uploaded. Okay.
Ma'am, I have a question. Can
Yes,
it be in
Tanisha.
our own voice?
Right now they are working towards it, but right now you can't have it on your own voice. What you can do is you can download that dialogue, that podcast, and then maybe use another AI tool which will mimic your voice, and then you upload it.
This is a great help. Actually, somebody asked me to make an audio for some paragraph, and I was actually struggling that how can I make and which tool I can use. But then again, is there any other tool where I can that can mimic my voice and do it the needful? Like
You
just
can
use
record,
the-
no? Just recording of your voice.
So, Anisha, what I have started using is Google Vids, VIDS.
VIDS. Okay,
Google
ma'am.
Vids. But to download it, it is a task. When you go to my YouTube channel, okay, my YouTube channel is called the Techie Teacher Mentor. Okay, over there I have put a video where how you can download Google Vids.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and then you can create a video with your voiceover. You can have the AI voiceover, but you can have your voiceover too. Okay, so the last two videos that I have created using Google Vids on my YouTube channel. Okay,
And
the
what
latest-
about images and graphic organizers? For that also you have any good?
I use Canva. Okay. So if you want
I
another
have a
session
question,
on Google Vids, how to create videos, I can do that. But only when after I reach Mumbai, I have an iPad here. When I'm on my desktop, then I'll be able to explain to you. Yeah.
Ma'am, I have a question regarding the session, ma'am.
Yes.
Now, for this session, you have asked auditory learners to create an iPod or, to create a podcast and post it. But within the classroom scenario, ma'am, what can we ask the students to do?
It has to be a podcast or an auditory thing.
Yeah,
Or
kids can create a podcast, Ashika ma'am. I've done it as a project with them. So
Ma'am, I'm
it can
asking
work
within the
very well.
classroom if we are, my question is like if we are, I consider this as an assignment, then this can be a podcast. But if within the classroom, let's say we are conducting any activity in the homogeneous group.
Yeah. So over here, what you can do is, if I have an iPhone, our students always have an iPhone or the latest phone. You can record your voice and it can be turned into
Ma'am got network issue, I think.
Exactly, sir. I think there's an issue.
Hello. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah. So you can record your voice, and that can be turned into a podcast. You can have the voice recording.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, to end my presentation today, okay. So what are the benefits of understanding the different learning styles of your students? You can enhance the engagement of the students, right? Because you will give them tasks and they will do those tasks according to their interest. So there will be increased participation. You have yourself saw, right? Today, you were my students. How did you participate? Everybody was interested in that work, right? Also, I can guarantee you that none of you will forget this different life in Mesopotamia in your life now. Right? Okay. So there is improved retention of information, right? And you have also personalized the learning experience. Students have created
Correct. Yes.
that task
We may not
according.
be able to forget. Yes.
Pardon me?
I said we may not be able to forget the story about Mesopotamia.
Yeah,
That's
because
it. Yes, you're right.
yes, because
You're
you
right.
used because you used your learning style, right? Your strength in order to do it as a collaborative activity. And it
Yes,
was a
yes.
personalized learning experience, right?
That's it. Yes,
And
it was
therefore,
wonderful. Wonderful. Yes.
yes,
It's going to be retained for long.
yeah.
It's going to be retained for long. Thanks so
So
much.
therefore, if you're going to give such task to your students which cater to their learning style, then there will be better understanding and better retention of what you are teaching to your students. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am.
now,
Yes, ma'am.
if I have to do a SWOT analysis of the learning style, what are the strengths of this method? It is that
That's the
diverse learning
highest.
styles.
That's the highest score. The highest score should be the strength. Yes.
Yeah. So diverse
It is.
learning styles will boost student engagement, and
Yes.
the inclusive education, it helps in retention of what the students have learned. Now, what are their weaknesses? If there is limited understanding of this particular model, WARC questionnaire, then it can go wrong. If you are not trained how to use, that's why I told you, when you just use that WARC questionnaire to the students, which are general questions, then maybe it will not fit in to your students. So you should ask ChatGPT or Gemini to create a questionnaire for your subject. Okay, how the students will respond and what kind of students, the learning style will the students show. So create your questionnaire using the AI tools. Now, what is the opportunity? You can have online sessions with access to WARC training, and there can be broader reach for students, for educators to implement WARC. Now, because this is an opportunity, right, for you to learn. And also what I have done over here today is that I have streamed this session on YouTube. So you will see yourself there on the YouTube channel. Okay, there are 2 videos because I had by mistake ended the session earlier. So therefore, and the place where you are doing the task, I was not in the main room. Therefore, it is all dark in the video. But that was the time when you were working in your rooms. The last point in the SWOT analysis is the threats. There can be resistance to traditional methods. Okay. If you always want to follow traditional methods, then this is a threat for this particular model, right? You will not be using it. And the change may negatively impact student success. So if you resist doing this or using this as a particular strategy, then you can see how this strategy was useful, right? So the change, sometimes students may not like it. Okay. Now again, the over here, what did we do? The same product, we have given 4 different types of products. Okay, so what we have done today is differentiation by product, but according to student learning style. Okay, so you will have to keep in mind how are you going to use this particular strategy in your teaching and learning in your classes. Now, the conclusion for today's session. What is the understanding? That diverse learning styles you have to acknowledge so that effective teaching learning happens in your classes. And tailoring the different approaches to individual needs is very, very important. Right now, we are talking about personalized learning. So this, if you use this model, it will help in personalized learning. What is the WARC model? in the VARK model, you identify 4 types of learners: visual, auditory, read and write, and kinesthetic. Now, what is the advantage of this? Students will be engaged, and one of the approaches to teaching of the IB is collaboration. So you could easily see that there was collaboration when you were doing this activity, right? So group tasks can be given and students will collaboratively work on the task. Teachers, teacher empowerment. Now, how have you been empowered? Because you have understood what the VARK questionnaire is, you will be able to know more about the learning styles of your students, and you will try to use such strategies in teaching your students. Okay? And what are your future implications? Embracing diverse learning styles can lead to improved results. Okay, students will remember things more, there is better retention, there will be better results. And personalized learning experiences will help in greater student success. So this was about the session today. I hope that it was useful to all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
very,
ma'am.
very useful,
Absolutely,
ma'am.
ma'am. Absolutely.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.